And actress Angelina Jolie is once again reaching out to women about preventative medical procedures. In an op-ed in today's New York Times, Jolie updated the public on her fight against cancers that affect women. She says she has undergone another surgery, this time to have her ovaries and fallopian tubes removed in order to prevent ovarian cancer. This comes 2 years after Jolie underwent a double mastectomy as a preventative measure against breast cancer. Her doctors told her she was at heightened risk for the disease. Jolie says she hopes to inspire other women by sharing her story. And Eyewitness News Health Beat anchor Anne-Marie Tiernan is in studio right now with a genetic counselor from St. Vincent who can share what genetic markers led Jolie to get her surgeries and what we should be looking for. Good afternoon, Anne-Marie.
Well, hey there, Carrie. Certainly a lot of questions being asked today, and that's why we invited Stephanie Cohen, who is a cancer genetic counselor with St. Vincent, to join us live in studio today to help provide some perspective. So, Stephanie, thank you so much for joining us today. I anticipate that this news that broke today leads to a lot of changes and activity in your office as well.
We definitely expect to hear from more people today because Angelina Jolie has been so public about all of her decision making all of this time, all through her choice to have a mastectomy and now to have her ovaries removed.
So let's talk a little bit about that genetic marker that she has. What is that? How do you test for it?
She has a BRCA1 mutation that predisposes to both breast and ovarian cancer. And there are a lot of different genes that can predispose to cancer. Just so happens in her family, that is the one that is causing the cancer in her mother, her aunt, her grandmother. She found out that she does carry this gene mutation that puts her at increased risk, and she's taking some actions to prevent cancer.
Okay, and so she not only knew about that, I was reading in this op-ed that she wrote, she's 39 years old, and she was doing constant monitoring. What happens after you have that test result, this blood test result, comes back and says, yes, you are positive, you're a carrier. What to do then with that information?
The best thing to do is to talk to a healthcare professional who has experience and knowledge about hereditary gene mutation and what kinds of risks there are, what the surveillance recommendations are, and what your options are. Prophylactic surgery isn't for everyone, but it certainly is an option to reduce risk. And I think that over the last 2 years, we've seen Angelina Jolie struggle with this decision and try to make the best decision for her at the right time. So I think talking to someone who is knowledgeable and knows the pros and cons of surveillance versus surgery is really the best route.
And if you opt for surgery, the recommendations out there now, I was surprised to learn, maybe you can explain a little bit what those recommendations are, how young the women are that they're trying to target.
Right, so we know that the cancers can occur at much younger ages. Specifically with ovarian cancer, we don't have good surveillance to detect ovarian cancer at a early stage. So before cancer risk is really high, before the age of 40, if we can take those ovaries out, we reduce the risk of ovarian cancer by 97%. So it's a huge reduction. The best time to remove them is after childbearing. If we can remove them before the age of 40, you not only reduce your risk of ovarian cancer, but also can reduce the risk of breast cancer by about half in people who carry a BRCA mutation.
And finally, and real quickly here as we wrap up, once you get this information, what's the conversation that needs to occur with your relatives?
Oh, please share this information with relatives. It's so important to be familiar with your family history. It's so important to share the information so that other relatives have the option to be tested as well.
Right, and when we're talking relatives, we're talking aunts,
uncles, cousins,
sisters.
Yes.
Call them up, share the news, because knowledge is power.
Right. If we can do anything to prevent more people from having cancer, that definitely would be the goal.
Is the key. Okay. Again, that website, ingc.info, is where you can find out connections to counselors here, for genetic counselors here in Indiana, and we have it posted on our website as well. Back to you, Carrie.
All right, Anne.